All right, so let's get into today's topic, right? We're talking about energy, clean energy. United States being, dependent on domestic supply for energy, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, not being dependent on foreign oil. But, you know, all this stuff is really a absolute insane way to look at what you would call an energy table. I mean, it's just hard to even fathom. I mean, people call themselves leaders or the public gives these people credit, but I mean, these discussions are absolutely ludicrous. These discussions are absolutely insane, right? This world is so bought and sold by these energy companies that no one even acknowledges what real clean energy even is. They don't even acknowledge anything to do with what any real clean energy or renewable energy source is. And the only thing you hear about are sources that of course aren't clean, and they are industrial, corporatized, um, major players, major companies that major industry players that through the decades and even century now have lobbied and got themselves in deep into the pockets, you know, um, in the White House. I mean, they've embedded themselves in the White House, right? So, I mean, when we're talking about clean energy, right? We're talking renewable resources. We're talking about water. We're talking about solar. Here in North America, okay, there is a very renewable energy source, and it's called hemp. It's industrial hemp, and it's pulpous industrial hemp fibers, right? And that's in North America, but all over Earth, right? There's actually three industrial pulpous fibers that the Earth has absolutely supplied for anyone to grow. That is bamboo, flax, and hemp. All of these are simple to base an entire economy off of, okay? That's the war, is that these materials are not profitable for privatized industrial corporations. Things that grow like a weed or things that are easy to grow where everyone can be a part of that shared economy and that shared wealth, that's what's made illegal. And that's what you have to understand. So that's where it needs to change. We can't discuss free energy if we're not discussing corporate lobbyism, okay? We can't discuss free energy if we're not discussing the corporatocracy, if we're not discussing Standard Oil. I mean, how on earth are we talking about free energy, but no one's mentioning Rockefeller or Standard Oil or how the utter just corruption of the energy, any sort of energy industry in this country. I mean, that has been the most corrupt industry in the history of this country, by Rockefeller and all his constituents, right? So, man, this country is just, I mean, everyone is so caught up in what they're caught up in that no one really knows history. No one knows even what's going on right now. I mean, so yeah, so let's talk about free energy. That's what I want to talk about is free energy, right? And it's industrial hemp is a huge player in it. And okay, so let's talk about clean coal. Yeah, that's great that we're using, certain processes to make the coal not as pollutive. Yes, that's a good thing. But here's the bad thing. Coal is a mountain, right? Coal is, and what we've done is we've blown up so many mountains in West Virginia and in these rich coal areas that a lot of those accessible ones and those maybe the top choice coal mines, right? They're all gone now. Okay, so what people have resorted to for profitability's sake, and this is the major issue, right? Is mountaintop coal mining, right? Literally blowing the top off of a mountain for easy access to that coal. Yeah, it's profitable for the big companies, and they're pushing for that. So you could talk about you're going to burn the coal clean, right? Which is an improvement. But are you resorting to mountaintop coal mining in order to obtain the coal, right? That's how these deceptive sociopaths work in office, right? I mean, these people are psychopaths and they're so clever with their words, and the public has no idea what's really going on because they just keep hoodwinking you with their words and key phrases and catchphrases that you're not even paying attention to what they're really saying. So, yeah, coal industry is not what we want to revitalize in this country. That's absolutely archaic. That's prehistoric, man. Like, a caveman could have a better idea, and the fact that you got millions of people that want to sign on to that, it's like, god damn, man. I want to go jump out in the fucking train tracks right now. It's just everything's here, folks. Everything is here for clean renewable energy, right? And the time is now for clean renewable energy. But you have privatized industrial corporations, right, who are trying to smash in your face that they're telling you it's clean energy, but it's absolutely not, right? They're talking right now about hacking up Pennsylvania because there's so much coal seam gas here. There's so much, rich and natural gas, man. These people, these fucking parasites don't get it, man. They don't get it, okay? The natural gas belongs in the earth. Obviously, the mountaintop belongs on the top of the mountain, right? The mountains are there for a reason. Okay, yeah, natural gas, yes, it's a good energy source. Here's the problem with that. They don't mention with that, right? Do you know how many chemicals? Do you know how many chemicals and environmental pollutants are involved in coal seam gas mining that have to be injected into the earth? Do you know how many do you know how many thousands of feet you have to dig into the earth and through how many layers of the earth to get to that gas? Do you know how hard that is? It's an insane process, okay? And it leaves a forever damage. I live on fracked gas lines. There's fracked gas lines right outside the side of my house right now, right out the side of our parking lot. And there's a petroleum gas pipeline too, because we live by water, man. And that's what they do in Pennsylvania. They want, wherever there's a waterway, they want to lay a gas line or a oil line. Yeah, man. Easy for people to say unless you're living on them, right? Oh yeah, the natural gas is so great. Well, what if it fucking blows up right here, or you have a leak right here, right? Sucks for me, right? At a time, I don't know what happened over the last year, and they might have cleaned it up, but I was smelling gas here for a long time, so whatever. Um, it's it's just there's so many lies out there, man, and people are gonna tell you about clean energy, and you have to do your research and actually know, like, not only what some of the industrial I just mentioned some of the industrial pulpus fibers. Like, you can't be, cotton's not clean energy. We don't need to be having cotton. You want to grow what the earth naturally grows within that region, right? You have to participate within the cycles of the earth and then have an economy that way. But that's not what's maximum profitable for private corporations, right? When the public can profit off of shared economies and shared resources that are easy to grow, that's hard for one person to get rich off that, right? And that's the type of world we live in. So that's what you have to realize. And again, like, we need to start talking about who killed the electric car. We need to start talking about innovation and creativity and the suppression of that in this country. We need to start talking about the hundreds of the most incredible entrepreneurs that have all been murdered in this country, right? Because of their free energy inventions, right? I mean, what a sad, horrible thing to be one of the greatest fucking human beings ever in modern history and to be fucking assassinated for that, and no one knows your fucking name, no one knows your face, no one knows anything about you, and you've just been fucking wiped off the face of the earth. And it just didn't happen to one people, it's happened to dozens. It's happened to fucking, I don't even know how many people they've killed now. That, and it's just sick, man. It's just sick. And we just need to keep getting the truth out there, about how much free energy has always existed, throughout the last century. And there's no new inventions. They're keeping us in the dark ages and have been for a long time. And by they, I mean Standard Oil, right? And Rockefeller was outspoken about that. Look into what Rockefeller did to the Chicago railway station, right? And all the Chicago railway cars when they started to run independent of oil, right? He hired all the fucking gangsters from Chicago to go in the middle of the night and break every fucking train car that didn't, that was part of this new freer energy concept, man. That was back in the late 40s after World War II, right? So this cronyism, this crooksterism has this gangsterism, right? These guys are fucking gangsters, man, that own this fucking world, you know? Um, I don't see how you people live in this country and you've never studied Rockefeller, right? Rockefeller is the most influential American of all time. I mean, of all time. It's not even close. This entire society was shaped in the image and likeness of Rockefeller and Standard Oil. And you don't get it. Like, how much oil products are everything, right? It's our clothing, it's our fucking tents, it's our plastic silverware, it's our cutlery, right? It's our it's our cups, it's everything. Plastic is in everything. We carry our bags in it. Realize that none of this stuff existed before Rockefeller. None of this stuff existed before Standard Oil. All these inventions are all just something to do with his petroleum waste so he can become eternally profitable. And yeah, I mean, genius, sure, absolutely genius. But you know, it's like these people live on this earth and they just don't. We're running out of time with these cycles. Like, we've been living this way a long time, just polluting, and it's really catching up now. And it's catching up now so much to the point, and this is the point of this video, right? It's catching up so now to the point where it's come into collective consciousness, right? And everyone's conscious of, okay, we need free energy and blah blah blah, right? But at the same time, clean energy and all this, but at the same time, the people who control the dirty energy are fighting to hold on, right? They're fighting to hold on. So what they're doing through, whatever, it doesn't matter if it's a puppet on the left or the right, whoever they're going to put in that presidential office, they're going to put someone up there with their slogans and tell you that, clean energy, right? But it's the same shit. It's the same dirty energy. And you just can't be manipulated by that, man. Like, they're sitting up there saying they're going to revitalize the coal industry and they're trying to tell you it's clean. I mean, it's just fucking disgusting, man. And then they sit there and they talk about, they want to tear Pennsylvania apart and get all the fucking natural gas out of this state. Yeah, okay. Ha, I'll tell you one thing, they don't live here, right? They don't live in Pennsylvania, right? They want to fucking bust up every single natural gas frack line all along this state. And guess what? They don't live here. They don't live here. They don't care what type of environment. They don't care what our water quality is going to be like in 50 years. They don't give a fuck how our children are going to be poisoned, right? No, they want to line and lace their fucking pockets, man. That's what they want to do. And, I plan on living in Pennsylvania. I plan on dying in Pennsylvania. And I know what these motherfuckers are up to. So, yeah, man, I don't care if this video is profitable, if I curse. I don't give a shit, man. I don't give a fuck. It's about the truth, and I'm just so sick of these fucking gangsters up there, running their mouths about, blowing up West Virginia, right? Blowing up West Virginia and blowing up Pennsylvania, Um, and there's truth to what they're saying. Yeah, you don't need to depend on foreign countries, and you don't need to, destabilize the environment in foreign countries either. But if you're going to talk about clean energy and there's plenty of clean energy sources, then you need to be able to tap into those clean energy sources, right? And that's what needs to be addressed. I mean, you can't have private corporatist lobbyists, who aren't profiting off of what is shared and what's renewable, making those industrial fibers or those industrial sources illegal because they can't profit off of them. Like, you have to realize the history of hemp in this country. You have to realize why hemp grows like a weed. You have to realize, like, everyone should read, Jack Herrera, what Jack Herrera wrote, The Emperor Wears No Clothes, and understand that if you're living here in North America, you should understand hemp, right? You should understand hemp, and you should get what a big part of the economy it is, and you can't have a clean energy economy without it, And it's a beautiful, beautiful source. Okay. Um, and I'll end it just on, you can look at my other videos on industrial hemp, but yes, hemp does everything, right? If you don't know, Henry Ford's one of his first autos was made of hemp. I mean, everything from the upholsteries to the seats to the windshields, to the, all that stuff is hemp, right? It ran on hemp fuel. The body was made of hemp. So that, that's just auto. Some of the best homes in the world are made of hemp. You can do so many different construction concepts with hemp. The Navy has always had a loophole in their legality or illegality of hemp, that they could always use hemp ropes or hemp pulp as fibers for whatever purposes they need in the military, because it's the strongest fiber on earth. So we're talking about the strongest fiber on earth. We're talking about the most durable clothing on earth. We're talking about some of the best construction materials on earth. We're talking about a lightweight yet durable material. We're talking about a material that is both breathable but is also durable, and in terms of clothing, it can be warm, and in terms of building material, it can also keep warmth in, while in the summer allowing the heat to escape, to go out and to keep the building cool. So it's got this incredible kind of temperature component to hemp, whether it's clothing or whether it's a building material. Um, it's clean. Hemp is a clean oil. And then we can have everything from it: hemp plastics, non-toxic, right? It's completely non-toxic to grow hemp. And the thing that's most amazing about hemp is it has no carbon footprint. It actually has a positive one. It's the only thing you can say that for, and people are amazed by that. Say, "Oh no, that's not possible." No, it is possible. You just don't get the carbon cycle. And when you actually grow what's natural to grow on Earth, there's no negative footprint, right? There is a natural cycle on Earth, and I'm not preaching that right now, right? I'm just saying that's the truth to it. So it's industrial hemp now. It's bamboo now. It's flax now, right? It's solar now. It's water now, right? If we're talking about clean energy, that's just some of the concepts, harnessing wind energy now. I mean, that's what clean energy is, man. I mean, but the thing is that these private industrial corporations like Big Oil, and Big Coal, and the big fracking companies, they can't profit off that shit, man. So you just live in an illusion. You're just watching politicians just lie to your fucking faces as you vote for them. Blessings, y'all.